What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bros Talking Soccer podcast special interview episode. Today, we got Anthony Shopa and Tyler Bond from 2 Foot Talk on. Guys, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Feeling good. Doing well. Nice. And I am getting an echo. There it is. Knew it was coming. All right. So we are live on YouTube right now. If you're joining us, hello, welcome. Please say hello, interact with us. That's what the echo was. It has now been muted, but I had the comment section up here and yeah, we're good. Nothing from you guys. It's on my side. But we're good.
That's fine.
Yeah. It's not you guys. So it sounds good. And yeah, say hello. Let us know if you have any questions as we go along here. And then this episode will be out on Thursday as the podcast. So make sure you subscribe to us and also go check out all of 2 Foot Talk stuff. Anthony and Tyler, all their links are down in the video description and whatnot. So make sure to go give them a follow. Guys, any questions? You ready to get into the podcast?
Let's get into it, man. I don't want to prepare myself too much. I'm ready to go here.
All right, let's do it. I'd like to welcome on Anthony Shopa and Tyler Bond from 2 Foot Talk, which is a website and podcast producing awesome soccer content. Make sure to go check that out. Guys, welcome to Bros Talking Soccer. How you doing today?
Doing great, man. How you doing, Ty?
Feeling good.
Yeah, feeling good. Happy to be here.
All right, happy to have you on. So can you first start off telling us a little bit about yourselves, where are you from, and how do you two know each other?
So we're from Philadelphia, represent
Scumbags of America.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. You can tell that through how we interact through sports, just how we talk, how we're fans. We're very passionate, a little too loud, a little too much in people's face. But me and Bond met through our soccer team in college and ended up just living together for the next 3 years. So kind of got used to each other's annoying habits and whatnot. So that's pretty much why we're together still.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So you guys played in college, and that leads into, my next question kind of. So how'd you get into the sport of soccer? Have you been playing it a while?
I've been playing since I was 4. I don't know about you.
Yeah, same.
4?
Yeah.
So soccer was always just my dad was a basketball, football guy. My brother was a basketball guy. And I was always the little kind of a-hole that wanted to do their own thing, something different. My mom happened to play soccer, talked me into it, and haven't looked back.
Nice. Tyler, what about you?
Just my dad played soccer, so it's just me and him were the only ones that played soccer in my family. Got a bunch of 3 of my brothers played football, 2 of them played hockey, so I was kind of the outcast, I guess.
Yeah, the outcast.
It's just soccer came easy, so I just kind of stuck with it.
Awesome. What positions did you guys play?
See, I'm weird. See, I play outside back, center back, and then striker. There's no in between. It's
interesting.
Yeah, and I was a center mid, and then I got moved to back in college, so clearly I wasn't good enough to play center mid, so just go on the back line.
Yeah, just some undersized defenders over here that like to take people out.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. I mean, as myself, I played all over the place, but as a center back from time to time, I love that feeling of being kind of the little guy, but still being able to scrap with some of the bigger forwards. Yeah, so I can completely relate. Do you guys still play at all? Pick up in the Philly area or anything like that?
We do our the beer leagues, we do our indoor leagues, but nothing too serious that you're gonna want to report about.
Yeah, try to keep it nice and local. Don't want to get injured.
I talk enough where I'm allowed to talk shit still, or I play enough where I'm allowed to talk shit still, but not too much where I'll look bad.
Awesome. That's a good spot to be, especially as podcasters. That's awesome. So I'm going to ask, can you compare yourself to a current player? If you had to model your game or a style or whatnot, anybody come to mind?
You can fucking say it, dude.
I want to say Sergio Ramos so bad. All right, but if I'm up top, I think I'm more of a Firmino-esque. I like to do the little lofted ball. I like being the in-between rather than just turning and shooting the whole time.
Yeah.
Ty, what about you?
He's a midget Ramos. I would De Rossi's my boy. Go on out. Okay. It's fucking nasty.
Did we mention that we like to take people out?
Yeah. I'm about to say, man, that fits with the 2 Foot Talk brand, wholeheartedly. De Rossi. I love it. So which teams do you guys support? I know, but can you let the listeners know?
So I'm a Madrista, Ala Madrid, 3 in a row. That's nothing else to say. I also like Lyon in France, so shout out Lyon. They don't get enough shine. Lyon.
Good choices there, as you got. Me, I'm an Arsenal guy, so it's a sad story as usual. Fucking kill me now, please, with that. And then Roma in Italy, the Italians. I don't know. Love the Italian league. Just something about it.
Giallo Rossi.
Giallo Rossi.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've been talking a little bit more on the podcast recently just about how there's always so much drama going on in the Italian league, and we need to start following it more. The soccer is great too, but then all the off-field storylines and just ridiculous owners and players and agents and everybody like that. So, I bet it keeps things interesting over there. How'd you guys become fans of those teams?
So I want to talk about the drama thing real quick. We literally did a podcast and we talked about how Wanda Icardi cried on live television talking to one of the administrators at Inter. So that's just how it goes over in Italy. But
always some shit going on over there.
Yeah. I mean, Real Madrid for me, I was like 7 years old when I started watching them, and they were just incredible. I was born in 94, so I was like 2001. Easily just a bandwagon decision when I was that old. They had Zidane, Raul, Roberto Carlos. They had everybody. It was awesome. They had everyone cool. So that's why I was just like, wow, Real Madrid. And then Lyon, I was a big Benzema guy when he was at Lyon, and they were just like kind of that French league team that you use in FIFA that like have lower stars, but they're still really good. And then just, I don't know, started to grow with me a little bit more. So that one's kind of a corny reason. It's a FIFA reason, but Benzema made me notice them and rolled with it from there.
Yeah, man. For me, for Arsenal, I think the first Arsenal game I watched was during their Invincible season, and I just hopped on the front runner team. That's what I did. But you look back into the history. There's a lot of history at Arsenal, and that's a big thing for me. It's like I don't want to go support a team that just has nothing behind it. There's a couple teams out there I can mention, but I won't.
Manchester City.
Yeah. And then for Roma, I think it was the 06 World Cup, and I was seeing De Rossi play. I'm like, this dude's an animal. It was just all over the pitch, box midfielder,
elbowing McBride in the face.
Exactly. I was like, who did that? But I was like, I looked at stats at him, and I was like, that's pretty good. And he was on Roma.
And then you just see the leg breaking tattoo.
Yeah.
How
could you not love that? So and then when I actually started watching clips, I saw Totti's just insane chip game, and I was like, okay, seems like a good squad to cheer for. They're not always top of the table, but they compete, and I like that. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. So let's go. Let's start with Arsenal first. So Ty, how are you feeling about Arsenal's season so far?
I think Emery is doing the best with what he's got. And me and Shope were talking earlier about how starting to realize Wenger wasn't the problem. Now, I think he should have left anyway. He was there forever, but it's really the board and the owner at this point. So I don't want to see people like, oh, Emery out. He's not making enough tactical decisions. I mean, he has to use what he's given, and he's not given much. I think Leno could be the starting goalie for years to come. But that back line is a mess, and that's the problem. Like, the back line's a mess. I think the forwards and the midfield are at a strong point with Torreira, Guendouzi, Laka, Aubameyang up top. Need to figure out the Ozil situation. But backline's a mess. Mustafi, God, Jesus, don't get me started on that. Terrible. So bad.
I was about to say, I'm trying to hold in a bunch of opinions because if I say them, it'll just be an Arsenal podcast.
Yeah. I'll just start bitching. I'll just
It was like, I don't know. It'll turn into yelling and everything will go bad.
Yeah, so I'll try not to.
Okay. So at the risk of us devolving too far down the hole, I just want to ask one follow-up question. So over the summertime, clearly they need to retool on the back line. We all kind of see that and agree with it. Who do you think they can go after? Is it a full kind of four-man? Like, they need to replace everybody? How do you see it all playing out, especially this summer?
I think Socrates is a good place. He can stay. Lichtsteiner needs to go. Koscielny is getting up there. I mean,
and all the injuries too.
At the prime of his career, we weren't winning the way we were supposed to be winning, and now it's on the back end, and it's just old and coming off that Achilles. Maybe he'll be better next year coming off that, but I think a solid sign would be Maguire. Throw Harry Maguire back there. He's young. Dude hates losing, competes. So I think that could solve a lot of issues on the back line.
You need a right back.
Right back would. I don't know. Kolasinac and
go young, bro.
Bellerin.
Go young. Wing it at a young guy. Worst one's worse. You got Bellerin.
But they threw Maitland-Niles back there, and he's terrible.
He's not.
I know, but why are you throwing it outside back?
Because you have nobody else. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Harry Maguire would be the sign-in I would look for.
All right, fair enough. All right, Anthony, let's just switch gears over to you. Madrid is having kind of Jekyll Hyde season. They started not great, then we're firing on all cylinders, and they just lost to Girona. What's going on with Madrid this season, man?
So I was like trying to stay optimistic. I even wrote an article like, okay, you know what? Madrid doesn't need a big club, guys. Or doesn't need a big signing. We're a big club, but we're all right. We got enough talent. Forget that. I want Mbappe. No, but Real Madrid, I mean, it's Real Madrid. That's why once everyone started talking early about how, like, oh, wow, you think they'll get back in the top four? I was like, okay, well, who's going to keep them out of the top four type of deal? And, oh, you think they can do it in UCL? I was like, well, I expect them to go to at least the semis because it's Real Madrid and UCL. So, but to me, this has obviously been a down year, but I just think it's funny how a Real Madrid down year is second, third place, maybe somehow getting to first, still in the Copa del Rey in the semifinal playing Barca, and they win their group for UCL, and they won in Amsterdam, which is the first team to beat Ajax, by the way, just so I can talk a little crap. Courtois, I hate him. Solari, I hate him. I think we need to sign a number 9 for sure. Benzema on his, like, if you keep following the way he's been playing games and the amount of minutes he has, he's going to break all the records for minutes for outfield players. Even some goalies, he's about to beat them out apparently because we straight up just don't have any other strikers. Brought in Brahim Diaz, saw him twice, and all of a sudden he's just not playing. So don't know why we paid an extra $20 million for him to come 6 months early since we're not playing him. Mariano Diaz took the iconic number 7 jersey, which I was kind of like, okay, maybe he has a chip on his shoulder. Feel free to take it, whatever. Has scored, 2 goals, I think, this season. They've been great goals, though, so thanks. He's got a bunch of injuries. Madrid, obviously, facing injuries as always, but that's a lame excuse for a top club. That's why you have depth. I'm not upset with Madrid this season. Obviously, Ronaldo left, and everyone freaking out. Oh, Ronaldo left Madrid. No shit. He's the best player on the planet. Obviously, it wasn't going to be as good. You lost Ronaldo. Yeah. But to me, Madrid's doing fine. I just want my UCL spot. I would love to challenge Barca for the title, obviously. I would love to beat Barca in Copa del Rey, come home with at least 1 trophy. I think UCL, we're going to be alive regardless who we draw because it's Real Madrid and UCL. But I want Solari out in the summer. He can win the treble, Dave. I want him out.
Who do you want there instead?
I'm a big Pochettino guy. I like Pochettino.
Yeah, get him out of Spurs, please.
I don't know if you're a 2 Foot Talk fan, you know that we're big Eddie Howe to Madrid guys. Oh, yeah. I would love to see Eddie Howe with a huge budget just to see what he could do.
Is that too big of a step for him to take from Bournemouth to Madrid?
Oh, no, it's definitely a massive step, but I would love to see how it panned out. I don't see it going great, but just I would love to see him have that opportunity.
I think tactically he's a very, very good manager, and he's young. So tactically, I think maybe he could do something that Solari's not doing right now. Because
Solari just needs to leave.
Yeah, he sucks, man.
The fact that you start Lucas Vazquez over Asensio, Bale, Isco, and Ceballos, I'm sorry. Like, that's great that you see yourself in Lucas Vazquez. Vinicius has been starting, though, so I'm cool with that. Okay. But I don't know. That guy, he's got his favorites already, and he's not even been there a year. So I got issues with him. But Real Madrid, I'm completely fine with the season. It's a transition season. I expect them to splash some serious cash over the summer, though. Since past 3 years, we haven't really been spending. But Mbappe is number 1 on my radar. I know
Hazard.
Hazard, I'm not a fan. We already have Bale, who's very inconsistent and can get hurt. So I don't know why we would need Hazard.
If they're going to get Hazard, get Thorgan. That's who you need.
That's the real Hazard.
Interesting.
That's how I feel about Madrid so far.
All right, cool. And then, so your other teams, we can talk about them just quickly. So what's going on with Roma, Ty? How are they doing? I think they're last I checked, I think they were 5th, just outside the Champions League spots in Serie A.
Yeah, rough start to the season. They weren't winning games at the start. So obviously they're picking it up now, but they're still dropping key points here and there, like wins they should have. I think I tweeted out during a game 2 weeks ago that, Roma won that bet for Shope, and then they let in 3 goals after half.
You have to bring that up again.
Well, I just wanted to make you feel bad, buddy. But so I don't know. I mean, I'm glad they beat Porto. Who knows about that away goal because Porto is tough at home. But other than that, I think they're doing well. My big fear is if Zaniolo leaves at some point.
Zaniolo to Juve.
So good, and he's young.
Is that the young kid that's breaking out?
Oh, yeah. Some of the goals he puts in, you're just like, oh, how old are you?
Dude, the one Cruyff to the scoop over the goal.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things with Roma this year was definitely not having De Rossi in for a big portion, a couple months. because with him in the lineup, it's just a completely different team. Because he might break one of his own teammates' legs if they're not doing their job. So he needs to stay healthy. But I mean, he's 36, going on 37. So who knows how much longer he's got.
Don't you love playing with those teammates that might break your leg if you don't do well?
Yeah, he's definitely kind of old school Roy Keane-esque in that way. And so just one additional follow-up. I know they have American owners, and there's been this search to try to build them their own stadium. I don't know if you can share, like, do you have any more details about if they're making progress with that? Because I've heard that once they can do that, they can really start pushing and really challenging for Champions League and hopefully Scudetto titles. So is that happening, or what's the status with all of that?
To be honest, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I haven't heard any like concrete like rumors that I would be like, yeah, this is supposed to happen. Like I haven't heard anything along those lines that would give me like some confidence about it.
And my thing with the whole building the stadium, and that'll allow them to vie for these Champions League spots and constantly compete, is that's what screwed Arsenal in the end, is paying for that stadium. And it's going to screw Spurs, and they're going to fall in the same trap. So I'm fine with sharing a stadium with Lazio. I'm fine with it.
I feel like that makes the rivalry better.
That's what it
does.
Because
you're kind of like fighting for whose house is this really, in my mind.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's more like the revenues, because the stadium is owned by the city. And I think that's more the issue, because like Juve owns their stadium, they get all that money, and that's why they've been able to kind of progress. And so I doubt this would ever happen. But if Lazio and Roma could go in on a private stadium, maybe they continue that sort of thing. I can't ever see that happening, but we'll see about that. But Anthony, what's going on with Lyon? I know they beat City at I think that was at City. I can't remember if that was at City or in yeah.
And so, but that's not that impressive because City's home fans.
What fans, dude? They're all plastic, man.
Yeah. So how's Lyon doing this year?
Lyon, I mean, in the league, they're disappointing a little bit, but they're gonna secure that top 4 spot. I think they're in 3rd right now. They're behind Lille by 4 points, and obviously PSG's up. Like I think they're 12 points clear with like 3 games in hand. So they already won that league like a couple months ago. But Lyon, they're really showing that on their day they can compete with any club, which I think this Barcelona-Lyon matchup is going to be a little bit tougher than Barca fans want to kind of admit.
It's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good game, depending, like, because the guys, I feel they're like younger guys, but they're developing at a rate where they're kind of like when they play crappier teams in the French league, like, it's not that they're not trying, but it's like that edge isn't there. Because like once you're on UCL, you're playing Barcelona, you're playing at the Camp Nou. That's going to give them that little edge. You have players like Fekir and Marcelo in the back, and Mendy even in the back coming up forward, that these are the type of games that they step up, and you're going to see those names like on the score sheet or even getting some cards establishing like, yo, I was here. I played this game. Like, I'm here for a reason. We're not just one of those joke teams you can take it easy against.
Is that where Memphis Depay is?
Yes, it is.
Every so often I'll see on Twitter he'll score like a ridiculous goal. How is he consistent? Is he doing that, or is he just kind of like highlight reel stuff happening?
So he was pretty consistent in the beginning of the season. I think he slowed down a little bit these past couple months. He's also come out. He's like kind of pissed off the club a little bit with some of his comments, but he's established that he does like the club and he loves being there. But he's also established that he wants to be like a star. He wants like to have his opportunity at a real club like he did with Man U, and he didn't take full advantage of it.
Is he still rapping?
He's dropping albums left and right. Apparently. I have no idea.
He dropped a music video about like I think he's following on Instagram, which like this dude is swaggy as hell. This guy's got that flair with him, but the fact his rapping ability is stick to football, as I'm gonna say. But the video was pretty cool. I mean, the editing, but rapping, nah. He's gotten more rap songs, I think, than goals in 2019. So he needs to focus on football.
He's no Allen Iverson, let's put it that way.
No, he's not. I would rather have Shaq rapping.
All right, I love it. So you guys clearly are very knowledgeable about a lot of different leagues. How do you keep up with everything? What are your go-to sources, podcasts, websites, TV? How are you following all these leagues? So Anthony, how about you?
All right, so I have an app on my phone. It's called FOT Mob.
Yeah,
you can literally follow any league. I have like Saudi Arabian leagues, like every league you can think of, and I just got Sling too. So now I get the Brazilian league, the Mexican league, got ESPN Plus from my other friend. I can watch everything from my phone. I bartend and serve, so like I'll set myself up where like I'm cutting lemons, but really I'm watching Bundesliga. So that's how I keep up with it. And then pretty much Bond just takes the drip off from me and whatever things I give him because he's teaching kids 24/7.
Yeah. But game wise, I typically come up here on the weekends. I'll show up Friday night, Saturday morning, and just watch the games. We'll wake up at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we're type of those sick bastards where we'll put it on the TV, we'll put it on the laptop, I'll get it on the phone, and we'll wake up at 6 a.m. and watch them all.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Love the dedication.
Drinking immediately, so it just ends up around 2 o'clock. You're like, Jesus, these games aren't over yet.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome to hear. And so I want to get into 2 Foot Talk, but I have a couple questions specifically for Anthony on a couple things. So first off, on Twitter and a couple places, you go by Young Leg. What is that nickname? Where does that come from? What's the story there?
So Young Leg, I was out in California like my senior year of high school, and we were visiting my brother's friend. His name's Alex DeMarco. Shout out Alex DeMarco. He's killing it right now. He's doing a ton of music video stuff, whatnot. But we were going over like rap names and how people come up with rap names. And he said, you can put Young or Lil in front of anything and it sounds good. And so we just started making up random names. And then I finally was just like, this was when I was getting recruited for soccer and whatnot. So like I was making my decision. And there's some legal stuff out there that I didn't partake in because I was an athlete.
Uh-huh.
So then they started, since I was like, oh, well, I have soccer and this, like, whatever. So they were like, oh, Young Leg. And it just kind of stuck. And like, it was also like, just because they thought, oh, wow, he can kick really far. And I'm short. So like, they were really impressed by it, even though that doesn't matter. But they weren't soccer guys. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. But that's how Young Leg came about. And I don't know. I've just been running with the YL. I find that it's easier to make designs with a YL than it is with an AS. Plus, everything starts looking like S when you use our AS. So we went with Young Leg. And I've just been running with it, and I kind of like use it as a different persona where instead of just being a little polite and talking crap, it's just all crap. Yeah, no politeness. No, so it's nice to get a little balance of both.
I love it. Ty, do you have any nicknames or any stuff, any alternate personas or anything like that?
He has a FIFA persona.
Oh yeah,
Tweeter,
Charlie Tweeter.
So
I'm a big movie guy, and Tweeter is the wide receiver in Varsity Blues. And he was just like, he drinks beer and that's what he does. And
he drinks beer, he plays football, and that's what Bond does.
Yeah. I think that happened a lot more in college. And I was just like, okay, I just drink a little too much and then I just go play soccer. So I don't go by it though. That's definitely not, it's a weird thing to go and say, yeah, Tweeter's here. It's like, people are like, who the fuck is that? So
Tweeter's known for a couple things. He scores screamers, and he's got a beautiful mustache.
He's got a sick mustache. Pro Club's mustache is sick.
Oh, I love it.
But it's kind of hard to like come up with a name. I mean, my last name is Bond, so it's just keep it simple that way.
It's cool enough.
Don't call me 007.
Yeah. Anthony, second thing, again with the branding and whatnot. So you use a pineapple all over the place. What's the backstory behind the pineapple?
So my family's Pacific Islander. My dad's half of the family, they're all Hawaiian. I could go back into the stories, but it would probably sound made up because like my family, my great grandfather gave up land so he could marry a woman from the mainland, and that's how the Shopas got to Pennsylvania. So that's a couple generations back, we were Hawaiian royalty apparently. Owned an island, he gave it up. So that guy screwed me out of an island. But yeah, we got the Pacific Islanders, and we've kind of been rolling with that. Like, if you ever go to a Shopa family event, there's going to be a roasted pig there, some ham there. So at some point, pineapples everywhere. So that's just kind of how we've been rolling with it. The pineapple is always just a part of me. I don't know. I have pineapples tattooed on me, Hawaiian Islands tattooed on me. It's just always been like part of the brand that is Anthony Shopa.
Very cool. I love it. I love it, man. I love the story there. And then the third thing I want to talk about. So Zack Steffen, current U.S. men's national team, number one goalkeeper.
Number one.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have like a friendship with him. He's been on your podcast a couple of times. So I just wanted to get the backstory there on kind of how you guys became friends and, what's he like?
So Zack is, so you guys have heard me talk. Zack's complete opposite. So if anything, great things happen to him. He's a very humble guy, and he's very just like about positive vibes. So like you know how like goalies, like they're fighting for spots. You think they would hate each other? Anytime he meets a goalie, it's goalie brotherhood. Like they're his best friends at the camp or whatever. I don't know how he does it. I would hate him. You're such a nice guy. You're so good, you asshole. But he's always just been like that. Just very honest, down to earth kid. Always down to like try different things, have just a good time. Watch a ton of World Cup with him at Victory Brewing. Shout out them. Feel free to sponsor me or Dave in Downingtown. What's up?
Yep.
But I've known him since I was 9. We played for Westchester United when we were both kids, and he ended up moving to my elementary school. So 4th grade, I like happened to show him around. I was like, yeah, this is my buddy on my soccer team. Went to middle school together. He then went to a private school, came back to my high school for his last 2 years. So we got to play with each other again after club for high school. And just, I don't know, we've been best friends since I can remember now at this point. Like his dad used to drive me to practice and stuff. So it's always been weird seeing him like blow up. And like I have to ask him to do interviews because it's always awkward. It's like, yeah, it's me. Like it's just us talking, but I need good information. Like I got to push him a little bit. That's a little awkward, but we always have a good time. He's a great guy. And he should give us more free stuff.
Yeah. That was very cool, man. I didn't realize you guys went back, and it's awesome. And, you know, I wish him the best. I mean, he's from the Philly area, and he's off to Man City this summer, and wish him well, you know, in his career and whatnot. But it's really cool kind of seeing your friend who you've known for so long sort of blow up. So that's awesome to hear. Now, let's talk about 2 Foot Talk. So can you guys describe the site and the content you guys are offering?
So 2 Foot Talk, I tried to like make a nice like motto for the club or for the brand, and it just wasn't I couldn't really grasp the 2 Foot Talk, like what we do. Because what we are is we're hard takes. We like to do stuff that other people would be scared to do, or maybe they're even scared of the takes. So what we have to describe 2 Foot Talk is just a nice video of someone getting absolutely destroyed with a 2-foot tackle. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to give you those hard, nitty-gritty opinions. We're going to give you the footy. Whether you like it or not, it's coming right in your face. That's how I'm putting 2 Foot Talk. Sound good?
I agree with what he said because that was a mouthful.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And so the name 2 Foot Talk, was that always going to be the name? Did that evolve out of anything? Did you try other names? Where'd that name come from?
2 Foot Talk is always a name that I've always just kind of been going with because it was kind of like a 2-foot tackle is like a dirty tackle that if you see that, it's like a leg breaking tackle, kind of like a shocker. So I was like, we'll just put 2 Foot Talk instead of tackle. So like I said before, like it's kind of wrong with the whole brand name of like hard takes, kind of in your face. I don't want to call us dirty, but like
I mean, if you watched us play,
X-rated, maybe R-rated. There's a little blood, sweat, glory, 2 Foot Talk.
That could have been your motto. There you have it. So how long?
It's a little too formal for us. You know what I mean?
I love the video of just the guy getting crunched. So I think that works very well on the site. So how long has it been up? How long have you been doing it?
So we've been doing it for, I think I started the site with just blogs.
Yeah.
About a year ago now. But then we added the podcast in like August. I wanted to get it for the new season. We did a couple of test runs in the World Cup. I think we have our pilot was a Zack Steffen interview. So
that's a pretty good one to start with.
It was a pretty good start. And we started that in like around August, July. And we've just been running for it since then. And 2 Foot Talk, Twitter, I think came in like November.
Yeah, we started.
So, everything's just still growing. It's all pretty new still, but it feels like I've been doing it for a while because of all the work. I know, Dave, you can relate here. You do a ton of stuff all the time. Dude's got like 5 different companies he's somehow running. But that's how it's been going for us lately.
Yeah, and Ty, you've been there since the beginning?
I would say for the most part, yeah. I mean, he talked to me about writing blogs, and now I don't write as much as I would like to, just because get home from teaching, I'm just like, I'm gonna go take a nap.
She's like, I need a drink or a nap.
Yeah,
I'm not writing anything.
Yeah, but he talked to me about it. I was like, all right, and he was like, yeah, 2 Foot Talk, and I was like, that's the perfect way to describe it. So I hopped in, and I was like, from day one, I was like, I really enjoy this. So, been good keeping up with it. I wanted to start the Twitter handle, so I set it up and everything, and then YL kind of took it over from there. So
I think he was just getting jealous of my Twitter fights that I was getting into, and he's like, dude, can you do this on 2 Foot Talk so we can both enjoy them at least?
I love it. Awesome. So do you have any goals for the website? Like any specific things you're trying to do? Is it just, just get your opinions out there, grow it as big as possible? Do you have anything, I don't know, specific you're trying to achieve?
I mean, what I'm trying to achieve is I tell people I want world domination. So that's where my level's at. I
love
it. That. But realistically, I mean, I'm just trying to get it out there. I'm not one of those people that I'm in it for the money. Give me numbers and views. Like, I just like to talk footy. And the more people that hear me talking, the more people that will argue with me. And I'm still looking for someone to prove me wrong. It's hard to be right all the time. So that's what I'm doing it for. Come on, guys.
This is why I never get into arguments with him.
Come on.
It'll be 30 minutes and he'll still be like, I'm right. And I'm just like, whatever.
As long as I think I'm right, then I'm right.
That's all that matters. So from either the podcast or the blog, do you have a favorite piece of content that you've created? Either something you do, on a recurring basis, or something you've done one-off, Ty?
Oh, I think the favorite thing that we do, I really like I like the random shit that we do. And Shopa always finds this just completely wild stuff that goes on. I'm like, how do you have the time to find all this? And like, I wish I could go and do that like on a daily basis and find out what's going on. That's really not at the top of everybody's like, oh, this is going on in the soccer world right now. But that happens to be my favorite thing. And then when he included the music to introing that in the podcast, it just worked and flowed well. So that's my favorite thing, I would have to say. Yeah.
Can you give an example of the random stuff? Is it like, something happening in like the Thai third division where like a dude, like just like the crazy stories that come from the soccer world? Is that what you're talking about? Or what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so like the random shit is pretty much like what doesn't. I do like each league, and then whatever like juicy drama's happening, I'll throw it in there. Like maybe like rumors about this, yada yada, whatever. Like I think one was like you said, like a Series C side just lost 20-0 because
I read that
players, like some random stuff like that along those lines.
Yeah, the Leeds thing. We started to dive into Leeds a little bit, and we were just like, the history of Leeds and all that, and how Casilla went there, Kiko, and they're killing it in the championship right now. So we're keeping an eye on that. So we don't really talk about that regularly. It's not top 5 leagues, but we'll try and throw in Leeds every now and then. Got it.
Anthony, anything that you like in particular?
So I always liked writing, so I always have like. You can pretty much tell when I couldn't think of what to write because I'll make it into like a conspiracy theory of something I completely made up. And those are probably my favorite pieces because I don't think people know how much effort it is to just completely make up a completely imaginary story. Like it's tough. It's creative writing. Come on, guys. But at the same time, making it like, wait, did this happen or could this happen? Like I like to pull their minds both ways. Like this is complete bullshit, but what if this actually, like, I want you to think about that. And that's probably the most fun part for me. Podcast-wise, I just love putting in sound effects. More and more sound effects are getting added in if you guys are avid listeners. And if you appreciate them as much as I do, I would love to hear about it. Which is your favorite sound effect? And I just pull it.
Hit them up on Twitter. We have that linked in the description. If you're not already following, make sure to give them a follow there. So you touched on it, and so Anthony, you said you like writing a little bit more. So do you prefer writing versus podcasting? Do you guys have a preference, Anthony?
I think podcasting is easier, but the writing is easier to share. You know how hard it is to get people to actually listen to your stuff because it's hard to explain what you're actually talking about, and like even just little banter and little points that people would really enjoy, like just little information. You can't summarize all of it for them. Whereas in a writing piece, you see the title, you're like, hell yeah, I'm going to read that.
Ty, what about you?
I would definitely say I enjoy the writing part. I mean, I do have a writing background, being a history teacher and all that. A lot of writing in that. So I enjoy the writing, especially because I tend to just focus on Arsenal and Roma. So it's a lot easier for me to just focus on that. But then Shope will throw me a couple of different stuff like, what was it? The Skulls, Oldham, being the manager over at Oldham. And it's just like, okay, I can dive into some Skulls background and what he did and how he just really doesn't care. He just wants to win, which is stuff like we can talk about on a podcast, but you really get so much more detail with the writing. So I would say I definitely enjoy the writing portion. Just shooting the shit on the podcast is always fun too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony, just going back real quick to, I was trying to think of, I had a question for you earlier and then I forgot. With the ridiculous articles or conspiracy stuff, do you make it over the top satirical, or do you make it like believable enough where like, if I'm reading this, like I may have no idea if this is true or not. I was just curious.
Oh no, I try to make it believable where if you don't, like, if you aren't completely like, I know you're really involved in the football world, so you'd be like, wow, Anthony's up to his bullshit again. But like someone who just like randomly pops in, maybe just checks scores, it's like I had a Lucas Vasquez propaganda one where like I was like, yeah, they're just showcasing him so we can sell him in the summer. Like that's completely believable. Some people got mad at me. Why would we get rid of Vasquez? He's such a key component off the bench. I was like, I don't know. I made it up. Relax. So I try to make it believable, but at the same time, I make sure you know. Like I think at the end, I was like, disclaimer: none of these stats are real. All of this is imaginary. Please don't yell at me, pretty much. Like this is for your entertainment. Maybe a thought in your head. Relax. It's a little believable though, which is why they get angry with me.
Got it. All right. Very cool. So you guys just launched some merch on 2 Foot Talk, which is really awesome. What was the process like of designing it and deciding which stuff to offer, whether it's, the logos and then the, I think you had a long sleeve, a t-shirt, and then a jersey and kit top. So, what was the process like for that?
You want to answer this?
No, you can answer.
Oh, I can answer. So what happened was I finally figured out Photoshop. So that's how we got the logo. Pretty much, I started gunning through logos and just checking out different stuff that I like. I finally landed on like this retro one that it just says TFT and then established 2018. It's clean, looks good on a shirt, crew neck, hoodie. So we have all of them for those. Hoodies come in tons of different colors, and I'm trying to make it so it's affordable because as you I'm sure know, it's very hard to just sell a shirt for your podcast or for your brand because not that many people have heard of it. And if they have, it's just like, well, I don't want to give you like 30 whatever dollars just a hoodie. Tough. Yeah, so it's tough. So like I had to find a spot that would kind of like play ball with me, and I think I'm at like close to 25-ish for the hoodies, which is a little bit better, not great, but and the shirts, I got down to 10, so that's solid.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Yo, how long have you been looking for them? I finally found them. I was like, yes, thank you. I got it. It doesn't feel like complete crap. The print's all right. Like, woo. Yeah. And, I mean, coming up with the idea for the logo, there's always, like, we have our 2 Foot Talk badge that you see on everything. You see it on our podcast and whatnot. And I ended up making a kit. I was going to try to put the kit, like, with the badge all over the heart, like a normal kit. But it wasn't working right. Like it didn't look right. So I ended up coming up with the new classy design, I call it, which is like a bow tie and it's like 2 Foot Talk. So it looks like you're wearing like a tuxedo shirt, which is like, it totally is up our alley.
Very classy.
Yeah, it's up our alley. And then the badge on the side. So it's like our kit for the year. And those like I'm just selling as t-shirts. And then there's other stuff that's just for my staff. Maybe I'll put it some exclusives if you guys are really feeling yourselves. It's just like a training shirt, just has the badge on it. And then I think we're putting Tweeter on the back of his. And stuff. Like, a couple of guys messing around with some T-shirts. The logos, they come every now and then. We'll see how I'm feeling with the Photoshop. I got a stylist and everything now. Like I'm legit.
Nice. Awesome. Well, yeah, it was really cool. Well, it's cool seeing it. And, it's always awesome when, you guys have been following your journey since kind of you started, and it's always cool just seeing you build up. And now, I feel like offering merch is like kind of the next step, and, you'll keep growing and all that. So it's really cool to see. So I wanted to ask about that. Is there anything that I didn't ask before I get to my final question? Any things that you guys wanted to talk about that I haven't brought up yet?
I mean, I need some help in Bundesliga. Do you know any good Bundesliga guys besides Critty? He's too smart for it.
I was gonna say Critty. I'm actually deep in research for Bundesliga clubs for Soccer Tavern, so we're gonna be coming out with a bunch of videos in the coming months for that. Haven't stumbled across too many people. There was somebody who was just on the Total Soccer Show who's a Bundesliga expert. I want to say his name was Matt, but if you search Total Soccer Show and go back for like the last 5 episodes or whatnot, I'm sure it's in like the title, like the Bundesliga guy. So he might be somebody to follow. I think his podcast is called like the Fußball podcast. Like it was something like very German.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was like, I think I heard of that.
Yeah, and then I guess Raphael Honigstein. He's obviously he's a German dude, a pretty well known author and journalist, and he covers the Bundesliga. He's German, so maybe him, somebody to check out. And then you can.
Like everyone's Bayern fans, and I've got enough Bayern. We're good. We're good Bayern. Relax.
Give me a Bremen fan.
Give me a Schalke. Give me a Dortmund guy. A Frankfurt, Leipzig, somebody. Come on, somebody else.
I feel like Leipzig might be right up your alley, Anthony, just because they're kind of somewhat hated in Germany because of their whole backstory and while they were bought by RB Leipzig. Not to say you're hated, I just mean like they're controversial. That's more what I meant.
That's a nice way.
Yeah. That was a terrible way for me to say that earlier. But no, they're more controversial, but they're really up and coming, and they could be somebody who's challenging for Bundesliga titles in the not too distant future. So there's somebody to check out. And I apologize for insulting you right there.
It wasn't an insult.
Stupid stuff.
My bad, man. So any other questions, Ty, or anything like that?
Oh, man, I can't think of anything.
I was about to say that wasn't even really a question. It was just like a request, like, yo, help me. I need.
Get me a job that's not teaching. I don't know.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I know, man. Yeah, I'm trying to, I think we're all trying to figure out a way to make all this work. And so hopefully, as we all grow together, we'll all be doing this full time, hopefully sometime soon. Last question that I have for you guys. What's the thing you're most excited about happening in your soccer world right now? You can take it any direction you want. You can take it from a fan perspective. You can take it from a 2 Foot Talk perspective. Anthony, what's the thing you're most excited about happening in your soccer world?
I got a couple things. I'm most excited about this 5-peat Real Madrid's going to have in the UCL. Mbappe to Madrid. And I'm excited to see what Zidane does. Realistically, I'm excited to see what Zidane does. I know he's like getting looked at by Man U because Solskjaer might not be the guy. I don't know. He's a caretaker so far. And apparently Allegri might be leaving Juventus. He might be going to Madrid. I don't know why that would happen either, but Zidane's got a couple different possibilities. I think PSG are going to be looking at him if PSG don't do something in UCL this year. So I'm excited to see what Zidane's going to do. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah,
Ty, what about you?
For me, I going back to Leeds. I just can't wait. I hope they hold on to the automatic promotion spot United. Because let's be real, Leeds needs to be back in the Premier League. Maybe Milner even goes back there. His boyhood club and all that. That'd be sick. Rio Ferdinand comes out of retirement.
Conspiracy theory article on the way. Milner to Leeds.
Yeah, there it is. Conspiracy article. There it is.
Yeah.
That and the other thing I would say I'm excited about is all these young Americans. Love the young Americans.
Especially over in Bundesliga.
Yeah, Bundesliga. Yeah. That's why it's like we need to focus on Bundesliga a little more because the young Americans are all there.
I don't know what it is about that league that just pushes me away a little bit.
I don't know either. I don't get it. But I just can't wait to see what McKinney keeps doing, what Adams keeps doing. Josh Sargent, the new King Jinja,
King Jinja. Get your heart out.
And they're all what, under 20, under 22 years old. So it's awesome to see what the future holds in store for the U.S.
Also, throw a 2026 World Cup in there, too. That's very far away, but I'm looking forward to it still.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. And you didn't even mention Christian Pulisic, in the Bundesliga, but he's another one.
He's on to Chelsea.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, Chelsea of all teams, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little.
So.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed at that, but and even younger than kids making the breakthrough in the Bundesliga. A ton of kids are going over just in academies. I know Alex Mendez is over there, and a bunch of them are kind of down in the academies and might be breaking through in the next few years. So yeah, Bundesliga is a good shout there.
Well, I also want to talk about FC Dallas. What are they doing in their academy that everyone else is not doing?
Yeah, Jesus,
Weston McKennie, they just got another guy over to Bayern. They're doing something right. I love that the Germans are now they figured it out. Okay, let's just go to America and take all their kids and offer them more money, and we're better. So,
yeah. I mean, FC Dallas has been one of the best academies in MLS. They've signed, I believe, the most homegrowns. I think they were one of the first to start and first to really give kids an opportunity to play. And that sort of culture has developed. And, from that, McKennie and then Richards is gone. And then RSL is another one as well as the Red Bulls. But yeah.
The Red Bulls is the only one that probably competes.
Yeah. Yeah. RSL is pretty good as well. But I think Red Bulls and FC Dallas are probably the two best. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for being here. So again, we have everything linked in the video description and podcast show notes, but can you tell people where to find you online?
You can find me on all social media at Shopa AJ. Look for the pineapple with the Real Madrid crown and the YL.
Yeah. You can find me at TyBond16 on Twitter. I do a lot of GIFs. There's really not a lot of tweets that go out. But if you tweet at me, you will get a GIF back. And it's probably going to be funny, hopefully.
Probably going to be fire. Yeah, you're welcome.
So
I love it. Hey, everybody loves GIFs. So I like that brand strategy from Ty there. So guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And yeah, listeners, thanks for being here. And we'll talk to you soon. See you, everybody.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.